This is the City of Meridian Solid Waste Advisory Committee regular meeting for Wednesday, June 26th. It is now 3 minutes after 4. We'll start off with roll call. Please identify if you're present. Andy Arriaga. Present. James Leckie. Mark Nelson. Present. Megan Larson.
Here.
Scott Walters. Steve Corey. Here. Stephanie Guajardo.
Here.
We'll move on to ex officio members. Rochelle Plank.
Here.
Quorum being present, we'll go ahead and move on to adoption of the agenda. Is there any comments on the draft agenda?
Mr. Chair, no comments. Move to approve the agenda as written.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that the agenda be approved as written. Are there any further comments? Sensing the commission is ready for a vote, all those in favor of approving the agenda as drafted signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, no. Motion passes. So we'll move on to approval of the minutes drafted for the May 29th meeting. Are there any comments on the draft minutes?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes as written.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the drafted minutes for the May 29th meeting be approved as written. Further comments? Further comments? Sensing the commission is ready for a vote, all those in favor of approving the draft minutes for the May 29th meeting signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Motion passes. Thank you. Move on to staff program reports. The first staff program report is the monthly presentation, which will cover the franchise agreement. There.
Yeah. So today it's going to be a short one just about the franchise agreement that's between City of Meridian and Republic Services. So franchise agreement is a contract which us, the franchisor, grants the franchisee Republic Services the right to operate a business, which this is hauling and collecting within the city limits. There's two parts where there's information about the agreement that's in the contract and that's in the city code. And the topics that are covered are how rates are set up, trash and recycling service, donations, services, and exclusive right for public services to be the primary hauler material. And what I mean by primary hauler is we ask them, hey, can you haul this stuff? And they say, yes, we can. Or for instance, no, we don't haul that. So we subcontract out. An example would be HHW. So they don't actually haul it. We contract with, Clean Earth to haul that. So that would be an example of something that they don't do. And then the solid waste, solid waste coordinator manages that agreement. And for this city, we don't have a specific date that it expires. It's considered perpetual contract with restraint, some parameters, whereas, both parties have to agree if we want to dissolve, and then there's a process to go through that. However, every 3 years, I can conduct an analysis to see if it still meets the city's needs. For example, has the city, needs for programs, or, the population has grown so much in 1 year that we definitely need to increase services or update new services. So that's kind of contract, franchise agreement, the contract in a nutshell. Anybody have any questions?
Yes.
So say your question.
Yeah.
If the city wanted to add a program like composting or something like that, is there mechanisms in that agreement to add programs, or how would that work?
Yeah, so it would probably be both in the code and the franchise agreement. It'd probably at least be an addendum, a memo, updating. And then there would go, Public Works Department would write it up, then it would go to council and the mayor for approval. And then also there might be some language that needs to change in the code for that. Like, for example, I don't know, cart size or limit, or, something like that, because that cart size and weight is in the actual city code, so there might be some extra language that we need to add in, and, yeah, definitions perhaps.
So if I understood correctly, if Republic said we don't do that kind of service.
Like
whatever it is,
HHW.
we're not included from adding it.
No. Yeah, they just have first opportunity to be the hauler, yeah.
Thank
you. Mhm. Am I missing anything? No?
Members of the commission, any other comments or questions? Very good, then we'll go ahead and move on to the next item. And this is covering tabling, opportunity over at the Meridian Library for home ownership fair. It's third, 10 to 3. Sarah.
Yeah, so I think Meg is also available that day. Conrad and I did it last year, and it was a great opportunity for, new homeowners that are coming on to kind of understand about their solid waste options and the services. We also had a few people that were actually in renting and then, moving in or just renting, so just kind of just understanding. And, some of the new homeowners are new to the city in general, so just in the state, so just kind of understanding differences between where they were from and where they're at now. So both him and I aren't able to do that, so we were wondering if anybody would be interested. You can definitely, I could send out a reminder email, or you can email me right after the meeting. We can talk about more, but it's basically just your typical tabling at an event. We will provide, everything, kind of like the Public Works Week event, where you're just talking about what's available. We'll have some brochures for you. If you want, well, I guess the sorting, it was kind of fast paced, so we didn't do the sorting game. We kind of just talked to people and provide information, and they would kind of booth. But we did have the sandwich board that outlined where your recyclables go. So that was kind of a talking point for people. So I'm not sure if anybody is interested. Meg did do it last year with us too, and she loved it.
Great.
What's the date? It is August 3rd, which Saturday sorry, you can't see this stuff. August 3rd, Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the main Meridian Library. It's right in the foyer kind of area. They'll have a booth, and they'll have everything like a table and chairs. You just have to, bring all the other materials.
Fortunately, I will definitely not be.
Okay.
No, I'm out of town.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we should probably get at least, would you want to do it alone, or should we have two people? And if we can't find two people when do you think we should give her?
Mid-July.
Mid-July, okay. Maybe by like the 12th. If we don't find, or would you wanna, what,
Mr. Chair, Sager, I'm fine being there by myself.
okay,
But yeah, it would be great to have a second person there if someone is available, even if you're not there available for the whole time, if you be there part of the time. If you have one person at the booth, it's great to talk to them. They did get a good turnout for the event. I think with so many new people coming to town, I think every opportunity to share information about how the program works in Meridian is something that we should take advantage of if we can, because it is very confusing to people that they don't know what to do, and my experience in public works is people, I didn't know that. So I think when we have the opportunities to share that information, and the hope is that they can also share that information in their neighborhood. So it's good to get that out, and it never, so many new people, you just have to assume that people don't know just because you did something months ago, so. If I will be there if you're available. Part-time. That work, I mean, I'm happy to go.
Okay.
I have a question. Have you guys ever worked with like HOAs in the city to some of this information?
Some of it, yeah. But, I know right now the city is trying to compile, I don't know if they finished a list of all the HOAs to disseminate information, but yeah, that's on our list to out to.
Especially people that might not be able to make it, it'd be helpful to summarize maybe all of the materials.
Yeah. All I have.
Further questions or comments? To get with, Megan or Sarah, if you can join her there. Move on to the next item, which, goes back to Trash or Treasure and its post-event survey results. There.
Yeah, so we had, I think it was, I just left open for a month just to see, so everybody who participated as a potential treasure giver at the end of the event got emailed a post survey. So from that, there's 207 individuals who took the survey. And, so how easy was it to find information about this event? That was one of the questions I asked. Almost 79% people said it was very easy. 21% somewhat easy, and then less than 1% not easy at all. So, I mean, definitely the outreach, getting the word out of these people, it was pretty easy to find information. And we always have the most up-to-date information on our website. And then I was just curious if they're able to print off the yard sign. Most people, 70 or 78% yes. And then, this time I added, use a homemade one, because I know people have called to ask if they're allowed to, and I was like, of course. So 10 people, 5% or 4.9, almost 5%. Yes, and then, a little higher than I would like, 17% said, no, I did not use a sign. We really recommend, so it's really clear driving down the street that you're participating, because we don't want people's items taken that aren't participating in the program. So we even, and I might even now, as I'm talking to you, maybe even write something down on the website saying homemade signs are okay too, because we just really want to encourage that line of communication. And then was it easy? So if they, unfortunately, I couldn't survey just the trash hunters, or treasure hunters, but if the givers were the hunters too, I asked them, and most people said it was an easy map to navigate, so that's good to know. There's only 71 or 71 respondents, but just to get some feedback about the map. And then, which is always interesting, how many of all your items, were they taken or some of them taken? So 45% of the 207 respondents said, yes, all my stuff was taken, which is great. Looks like it's about even mixed, some was taken, and then none of my items were taken, about 10% of the respondents. And then lastly, if they weren't taken, what did you do with your items? This colored big portion, that makes up around 86%. So after all my items taken, they scheduled a bulky item collection. It's nice to see donation was high up on the percentage and then kept it. And then the other 14% were like individually people writing down exactly what they did, but that I wasn't gonna quantify that, just other in that regard. I think, yep, that's it. Does anybody have any questions on the Trash or Treasure post event results?
like it's kind of ingrained in our community now.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, there's just some fine tuning, I think, each year that we do to, make it easier for everybody. I'm hoping that, we can get the word out about the sign and, we're always fine tuning that map too. Like, this is the second year that we've done pictures. I don't know what we'll do next year, if there's anything in addition, but, yeah, I think it's a great event. Hopefully the weather starts working out for us. That's been the kind of the downer.
How's the word gotten out? Outside and then,
Oh, like different outlets?
yeah, what were the communication?
Oh, yes. So, yeah, the website, we have news media picks it up. We have social media, we have our calendar, we have an e-newsletter that goes out, that emails out. What else do we have? We have it on the, board out there. We send it, and then even Ada County landfill sends it out to their, because they'll do different stuff, for different communities. So it sends out that way. Word of mouth, so the pre-event survey, word of mouth, is another way. And MUBS is one of the biggest ways that people hear about it. It's by far, I think it goes MUBS, then maybe e-newsletter, and then social media. Those are the three big top ones. So your utility bill.
Okay.
So, yeah, we push it out in a lot of different ways. Oh, and then also I send a flyer which is the same in MUBS, to the Meridian library system to post it. And then there is a flyer that you can, download, and HOAs can send it in their newsletter if they want to, so it's already ready for them, so, yeah. We haven't done, I guess radio is the only one, but I'm assuming the radio would pick it up and talk about it, but, yeah. Oh, and then we have, well, I guess you didn't recycle a bicycle, but I think we've had in the past, have had, news media outlets interview staff like that. I think probably Tom got interviewed. And we've had videos too. So, yeah, a lot of different outlets for this.
And you did create an animation a few years ago.
Tom probably did.
It was his avatar, remember?
Yeah,
Tom avatar.
yeah, that would have probably been 5 years ago, I bet, or 4, 5 or 4. Yeah,
Yeah, remember? It was just
that's, I don't know if it is anymore, but we gave that stuff to the landfill, so it went with him.
It went with yours.
Yeah, because he really wanted it, so, yeah. And it looks like him too. I guess I could put a wig on, but,
So you remind us that
oh, yeah.
this was a program that was originated by a citizen that had an idea and presented it to the.
Staff. It was an idea from a staff member who was, I think, the crime analyst for, I think he still is, for the Meridian Police Department. And he, I believe, was visiting a brother-in-law in Canada. I don't know where, what province, but saw it, and I was like, wow, that's a great idea. And then I think came down and talked to you guys about it, and I'm like, yeah, let's. And then I think you guys then partnered with Republic, and you bought some. Oh yeah, we didn't do it last year, but we have these wavy signs that we put out around, the sale sign.
Yeah.
Signs that look like sales.
Actually, that
Yeah.
first, just piloted it with.
Yeah,
Next year and the year after. Up for like doing a new avatar, the city.
no, we don't do those anymore. We do live, like real looking people. So, yeah, so, Yeah.
You want to do
Yeah.
Meridian Michael or something?
Meridian Michael, yeah. So it would be, probably if we wanted to update that, because there was one live video of Tom bringing stuff out to the curb. But, that was in conjunction with spring cleanup, which we don't have anymore. So we would probably do an updated, just trash or treasure event only, not the spring cleanup aspect of it. Yeah. So, but it would be live, yeah, live people. And then we go out, the pictures that I took, we use those as updated ones for the next year and the next outreach, like that, but by far, but even on the videos on Facebook, it still didn't get as much play as mulch. That's by far the biggest one that, on how people care about it, yeah. On the giver side, not the hunter, it could be from all over the place.
Commission, any additional comments or questions about the survey? Thank you for all those updates.
Yeah.
We'll move on to old business. First up under old business is an update on the recycle bicycle activity. Sarah? Sure.
I put my name first, but I wasn't sure.
I really don't have anything else to add other than the numbers you mentioned.
Okay, and I don't know how many numbers there, so, they were able to get, Mark was able to start Scott and Rochelle on the non-Meridian resident bike request. And how many, 20?
I think there are like over 40.
Oh, wow, okay,
On that list that you sent.
okay,
Well, Mr. Chairman, what we did was there, in the beginning of when people could sign up, we had non-Meridian residents. So we filled all but I think 4 bicycles for Meridian residents. So we shifted and saved, for example, list. She emailed everybody who was waiting from out of the city and asked if they were still interested. And I think we're looks like about 40. But some people just had 2 names on one line.
Oh.
It's like a 30-year-old female and an 8-year-old male. And so it was a little bit tricky, but I think we're almost down to the bottom of that list too. So everyone who needed a bike got a bike. But with a few exceptions, there were some very specific bikes that we probably may never fill, but everyone knows we do find those unique bikes will fit those of the people requesting, but other than that, I think everything is pretty much buttoned up.
yeah, and I'll just double check my email to make sure, there was like 2 or 3 that,
That's still.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Then going forward throughout December, there'll still be more fun coming in for us to find out.
Okay, there are a lot of bikes right now, and we had a request come in for bikes from Elena. We do still support Elena and then we have another individual, like unsheltered veterans. And the veterans are young, they're usually like in their 30s. And looking for bicycles, and so we help those guys. And the rescue mission, we give 10 men's bikes at the men's shelter a month. And so we still have some regular customers, and the police department will send people with DUIs over to the transportation. So we help those guys too.
Is there a way to like market that? I feel like that's a really cool program.
I don't know, we're kind of under the radar, right?
well, it is marketed on our website, but
But I mean, like even the
But-
spillover, like,
I don't know,
how
for all
many
the
different organizations it helps.
yeah, but the bandwidth to then manage all that is a lot, so if you market it a lot, then that means you're gonna get a lot of customers, so.
Bethany, are you saying market it in the sense of look at this great stuff Republic and the city is doing, or?
Yeah,
like
Not,
just,
not
like
trying to
documenting.
find-
highlighting like, this is the kind of stuff that like, this is how it benefits the city and even like the county and other organizations. So make sure, like, I think that should be part of the campaign of promoting it for next year and future, events of yeah, just how much it benefits, because that just sounds so cool.
Yeah, we just have to be careful that we don't, market ourselves into a full-time.
Yeah.
It's all volunteers.
Yeah, I mean, when you guys do your events, you're marketing that too.
Yeah, our chair was on TV,
Mhm.
promoting it, which was nice to see in the morning, so.
What are like ongoing, content, coming from marketing speak, but like year-round kind of content, it's like,
We don't really do year-round.
no, it seems like a lot of events are happening this spring and summertime, but like what about the fall and winter? And maybe that's kind of a feel-good story, like, hey, 6 months ago, whatever, this is the outcome of.
And the nice thing about this year, like I think it was from Martell, but you're gonna be on TV, but we got a lot of bikes donated for people who said, oh, I heard about this on television. Can you take our bikes? So We've been seeing it good, and just, any overflow bikes, so we sometimes get to a tipping point where we're like, oh, we have 100 bikes to repair. Then we'll send shipments to the rent person, send the town, and then they have a program there with Boise Bicycle Project, that they train inmates to be bicycle technicians, so when they get out, they have a skill. So then that we get those bikes back there.
It's like such a complete funnel of like efficiency and not like maximizing. I just think there should be something documented. I'd be happy to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
Oh, yeah, oh, go ahead.
So Mr. Chair, Bethany, Rochelle, I think it's just thinking about to what end, right? Because I think the concern that Mark and Sayard are expressing is be careful what you wish for, right? Because you have, right, a nonprofit that's saying, look at the great work that we do, helps that nonprofit get donations. We really want a big volume of donations. Right, I understand, yes, it's great to let people know about the great work that we're doing, but this is a program that really runs on the hard work of a small number of people. And so I think it's being cautious about burdening those people with more work that they can do. I understand where you're coming from, but I think it's like also be a little bit careful. What is the goal of promoting the program? And do we want to do that?
Right, to know what goes on in Meridian, it's kind of one of those, for those, we've been doing it now for probably what, 7 years, 6 years, it's a long time.
Yeah, and people come to the park and they're like, I didn't know this happened, I like to do it. So it's a great feeling to do that. I just, if you do a wide ranging successful campaign, you may end up with problems.
Our legislative requirements.
And they can mark and share some stuff for themselves, but they do a tremendous amount of work on this all year long already. So
I wasn't
like,
sure.
well,
If it was I know it was just like a springtime, summer thing.
This small, event, but it's your guys' event, so it's what you guys and I help out put into it, but yeah, because we do highlight stuff on the website, and then on our donation page, it says, contact Rochelle Klein if you have a bike to donate, but yeah, I mean, it's.
Like an overflow that goes to men's prison. I mean, maybe I'm asking you too much, but it kind of seems like, maybe we talk a little more about the soft plan, like the logistics, but I don't think it sounds like a cool opportunity, and I would love to.
Yeah, what I'm trying to articulate is before we develop content, let's think about the goal of what we're trying to do.
Yeah, like because so the recycle bicycle is wax thing. So whatever you guys want to promote, that means you guys will be doing, like, you'll be out in the transfer or whatever you want are interested in. But I can certainly help out with the paperwork stuff, but it's a big push for SWAC and the city, once a year. And then on the off season, it's really Republic's big thing.
But we would invite you to
Help out.
So we also take,
So then
to my girlfriend's at Farmway Village, which is out toward Caldwell. And it's very heartwarming, right, Mark? It's like the most heartwarming 30 seconds, and you're like, because they come and they get off their buses and they run in, the bikes are gone instantly. And then there are adult men that will ride a little kid bike, just have a bike to get to the store. And so they grab it. And Mark and we always leave there feeling like, wow, there's bikes. And we never, when we give another round of bikes, we'll take 40 bikes out there. And we never see there are no junk bikes around. It's not like they use them they all go and they get used forever. So it is really fun if you ever want to come give away. It's hard to back. I would love to. It's fun. You do a lot of loading the bikes and then they're gone literally within minutes.
Yeah, when is that you guys usually do that?
Whenever we do it.
I know, I thought there was around a certain month that it usually happens.
I think it's more around a certain, they have some event
Okay.
there.
Oh, they have food boxes.
Yeah.
So they have food boxes for families or certain families eating food during the summer, they get food boxes on Mondays or something. And so
Okay.
we try to take bikes when they're doing food boxes.
Okay.
So that's true. Good memory, Mark.
Yeah, so maybe the next time that's coming up, you can email or email me and I'll email all of you, or you can just email everybody and then whoever wants to, that would be a good introduction to kind of so there's 2 different programs almost going on, if that makes
Yeah, it
sense.
seems like it's
Yeah.
complimentary.
Yeah,
The thing that I see appealing is that just most people like what goes on at the city, you know, and it's a feel good kind of thing. So just my sense. Yeah.
So we'll get an email on that on the next like giveaway.
Yeah.
Blog.
And then we also have given like there's a continuation high school, it's right across from a super fancy private school where I should know the chart, Ambrose, right across the street from Ambrose is one, and it's just, it's really interesting how the difference between the two schools is the kids at the continuation high school have really lived hard, a lot of them, and it's really heartwarming to take bikes there too, because a lot of them won't leave them there because they're the primary breadwinner and they know their parent or custodial person will sell it or whatever. So they'll say, can I leave it here? Or they'll take a bike to give to their dad they haven't seen in 3 years for Christmas. Or like, and the stories you believe they're like, so sad, but it's like definitely heartwarming at the same time. So you never think that Meridian has struggles because it's a pretty affluent community, but there are definitely undercurrents of struggle. And it's like sometimes not a bad thing to see where you can help, I guess. Yeah, so lots of opportunities. So I can put together like a list of where we drop bikes and when we do giveaways if we wanted to.
Yeah, I'll definitely help.
Yeah, that would be great.
That's all I have on the information.
Members of the commission, I don't know if you remember on the report from last month, it was mentioned that Meridian Cycles went ahead and gave us some materials at cost, various other things. I'd like to go ahead and send a letter of thanks to them for their support. I guess the way I'm going to present this, is there any objection for me putting that letter together and then Mark and I'll sign the letter and deliver it over there?
I think that's a great idea.
No objections, we'll go ahead and make that happen. Thank you. Any further comments on recycle bicycle or questions on it this time?
Mr. Chair, I'm gonna be out of town for 3 weeks. So if we could get the letter drafted, I'll be working from home tomorrow. And Friday morning.
Cool, I'm gonna go ahead and, it's drafted. It's go. And I'll just email it to the two of you and, want to go ahead and do any adjustments to it, but yeah, and, jump up on that. I can support signing it, delivering it. Great, thank you. With that, we'll move on to the art contests. And, you know, since this is an event that we really kind of want to go ahead and kick forward, we'd like to go ahead and get a couple more volunteers to go ahead and create a subcommittee that's focused on the art contest. I'm going to turn it over to Mike Larson to kind of talk about it so that you kind of know what we're talking about, but we're going to be looking for some volunteers for that subcommittee.
Sure.
Commissioner Larson.
So, this is a art contest, that promotes recycling. So it's not a revolutionary idea. This is done in lots of other cities where you make a art piece out of recycled materials. So we did it for 2023. We ran the contest over the summer. We got a small number of entries. We picked a winner, displayed it at the art party in downtown Meridian. We had a table there. A lot of success for our first year. So I would love to do it again. I think it's a great idea. It's fun and it's something to do in conjunction with the art commission as part of Art Week. And again, another opportunity to get information out to the community at a community event. However, I want to set it up for success. So I think what it needs is more outreach and promotion, particularly among students, at high school and middle school students in particular that might make a project during the school year. So the tasks, the commission, or the subcommittee, sorry, as I see it. All right, let me back up a second. So that's why I postponed it for this year, because here we are in the summer, so it's kind of too late to reach those kids at school. And then the art party where we would display the winner is in September. So our timing is to select a winner in August and ready to display in September. So the tasks of the subcommittee is to see them, is to develop that plan for outreach. How do we reach people and promote the contest? And get some more participation, and then implementing that outreach plan that we develop. There are guidelines for the contest and submission instructions and so forth that's already developed, so it'd just be a matter of tweaking those. And Mayor did a great job of setting up a website and people could submit submit photos of their entries. We didn't want to have a bunch of actual pieces submitted, so we just asked for photos of those, and then we had a scoring system for the pick a winner. So just reviewing those and making any tweaks, and then collecting prizes. So the city is not able to fund like a cash prize, but other art contests, other art pieces did get prizes at the art party, and they got sponsors. So Mr. Chair was able to talk to a couple of businesses like Goals and Craft Warehouse, and said they'd be willing to make a donation to support that. So we could put together a nice prize, it's kind of an incentive for participation. So those three tasks: outreach, and promotion, soliciting for some prizes from a couple businesses that would support some big round art, and then just tweaking those guidelines and submission. And I would see that kind of having those tasks done by spring break so that kids would have plenty of time to create their work and submit it and chosen by this meeting next year. So it sounds far away, but it's not. That's all I got. Anybody want to do it?
I'm 60%.
And also, the SWAC courses don't meet in October, November, but I think subcommittee could be talking, doing some virtual stuff. With the goal of being out and actually doing the outreach at the beginning of calendar 2025.
What would that entail then? It's running it to like, just disseminating the information to the different schools?
I'm not sure. I think part of the task would be developing the plan. What's the best way to reach students? Is it outreach, find out who all the art teachers are and reach out that way? Is there somebody in the district? How do you connect with the private and charter schools? Are there folks doing art classes for students privately? I know the city of Meridian Parks and Rec has some art classes. Can we reach those teachers? I've seen Senior Center,
Yeah.
the Meridian Market, there's probably vendors there that are developing art out of recycled materials. I'd be happy to. I knew you would.
You're hopeful.
Chair, so besides the traditional ways that I kind of talked about that we use for trash or treasure for outreach outlets, it would be these other ones that you guys would try to develop, and because we want to get, was it there's three age groups: young, middle, and adult. And we only got adult last year, so we want to really get the other ages involved too. And then, I need to talk to James about when he ages out as a youth, but before, it might be good he might have some outlets for some of the contacts too.
Too.
Thanks, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Carton.
I've already got some ideas.
Awesome.
That's that.
Hold on.
I love that.
So I will reach out to you offline and we start talking.
All right, so I have Meg, Bethany, and maybe 60% Mark.
Well, arts is not my forte. I'm more of a nerd. Yeah, I'm an engineering brain person. But I know, Mr. Walters was involved before.
Yes, are you volunteering?
Anytime you're president,
No.
you're going to find a committee. and do this.
Yeah.
Voluntold.
No, I think, Scott's being an artist and a graphic artist
Oh,
that he judges every year for business professionals. in
Oh.
America, their graphics programs. And so, but he just doesn't live in Meridian, so he might not be the person to help him. Stuff anymore.
yeah.
But definitely, it seems like he was involved
I can chat with them.
Mhm.
But,
Okay.
To this brain.
he would sell me a heartbeat.
Yeah. You have it signed already.
How about you do 50% and he does 50%, but not at the same time?
Okay. we can work.
So then we only just have 3 people at once.
Additional comments or questions on the subcommittee for the art contest? Go ahead and move into stakeholder reports. Do you have anything you want to? Timber Creek.
No, nothing for Timber Creek.
Very good, then we'll move on to the next meeting portion, and the next meeting is July 24th. At 4 o'clock, I guess we'll be back over in the chamber again, okay. As always, if you've got something that we should pick up, mention it to Sarah and me, or me, and we'll talk about it at the agenda meeting. But next month's meeting is gonna focus pretty heavily on annual fee review. So it could be a rather busy meeting, or maybe it'll be rather straightforward. We'll see.
Is the annual fee?
Yeah. In short, every year Republic needs to go and present to us their fee structure. It incorporates certain contractual changes which allow for 90% of the inflation rate to be added to the rate. But if there's a need if they're presenting new programs, they do it at that time. If there's for some reason, a need for a significant fee adjustment, they present it at that time. And then we just give our review of that to city council. And city council hears the fee structure and they decide whether to approve it or make adjustments, but they take into account our recommendations in parallel. And anyway, that will start in July. That concludes the business that we had on the agenda. If there's anything that anyone needs to bring up, I'll give you time. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and call the meeting adjourned. It is 4:45, and as always, thank you for what you do for the city of Meridian. Thank you.
More than cozy.
Hopefully, by the time you get home, it's right. I mean,